Hey, what's up, people? It's Tony's Timepiece review. Today is March 1st, 2018. And as soon as I start talking again, as always, Uku, my cat, decides to get involved. There she is. You stop it, Uku. Anyway, today I am reviewing this new watch. I just got it today. It's a Squale 200-meter dive watch. Atmos 200, or I'm sorry, Atmos 20. Now, I'm going to go into as why did I buy a Squale? Have you ever heard of them? Because honestly, I hadn't really heard of them until recently, and I had just bought the Rolex in December, so I've been wearing 36 millimeter that watch for quite some time. Plus, I've been wearing smaller watches, 38 and 40 millimeters, and I was looking for a dive watch, and I just couldn't bear wearing the 45 millimeters or get the 44 millimeters or 43 millimeters. It's just too big for me. I have a small wrist, 6.5 inch, and I got too used to wearing small watches, so I prefer smaller watches. So I had asked a friend of mine, he's a Rolex guy as well, and he told me about a brand called Deep Blue. And I looked at those and I thought they were kind of cool. But not much, other than that the one that I did like was 45 millimeters, so I decided not to buy it. So I was looking, where can I get a dive watch? In my budget, I put myself on a budget this time, so I didn't spend, $500 to $1,000 And, but then I started looking at Tudor. I was gonna buy a Tudor Heritage Black Bay. I was so close, I had it. I was ready to buy it, but actually I wasn't going to buy it. I was going to go to the AD, authorized dealer. So I kept looking and looking. I got onto a website, and then I saw Squale. And then I realized, I think I've heard of them. So and I started looking at the watches, and I thought, wow, these are really nice looking watches. And I Googled them, and then I found a review from Hodinkee. For those of you who don't know who Hodinkee is, they're kind of the shit when it comes to watches and things like that. So I read a really nice review. So other than that, I really don't know much about the brand, and I don't often buy watches I don't know so much about the brand. But it's a 40 millimeter watch. Apparently they started making dive watches in 1946 or 49, can't remember. And privately owned. They're a boutique micro Swiss brand made in Switzerland, and then the owner died, and another family took it over, so they're still like a family owned micro Swiss brand. And so I really looked at it, and then I went online started looking at watch reviews, and I found that this one guy, the Urban Gentry guy, he's pretty popular, and he's a huge fan of him. I saw some hater reviews, and I'll get into that in a second. It's a shitter, fucking shitter. Everyone who knows that guy from Australia, that guy's a piece of work, man. He's bitter. I'm not even going to mention his name because he doesn't deserve the props. He hates every single brand on the planet unless it's Rolex, Patek, or anything that's worth a lot of money, or has serious resale value. Well, let me tell you something. This watch, I bought it from Gnomon, Gnomon, they're out of Hong Kong, but they're an authorized dealer. No, it's not a Chinese knockoff. It's but I was a little hesitant because they were in Singapore. But I ordered this on Tuesday night. Today is Thursday. Tuesday night, and I got this Thursday afternoon. All right, and it came with an extra NATO strap, a nice box. I just finished sizing it. And it's got solid links. The watch has weight to it, man. It's got solid links. It has screw-in links as opposed to friction pins or cotter pins. It has deployant, and then fold over. And it also has a dive extension. I can't see, sorry. It's on this side, but it has a dive extension. So if you wear a wetsuit. It's 200 meters water resistance. It has anti-reflective coating on the sapphire crystal. Again, it's 40 millimeters. Not sure if the bezel is ceramic. It might be, it might not be, I'm not sure, I can't remember. Screw down crown, again 200 meters water resistance, has some weight to it. And believe it or not, when I got this, I was actually pretty excited because I hadn't, you know, heard of the brand, but I was really looking forward to getting it. And when I got it, I was pleasantly surprised. So again, for my price range, I paid $550 for it from an authorized dealer in Singapore. Got it really in less than a day and a half, which boggled my mind how it got here so quick. Let me put it on the wrist. At 40 millimeters, it's like the perfect size for a dive watch. It has an ETA 2824-2, so I know I have a workhorse movement, and as long as it's calibrated correctly, it should keep really good time at 42-hour power reserve. Signed crown, sorry. I know you can't see it because you know how it works with my camera. It's got a Cyclops, which magnifies 2.5 times the date, just like a Rolex, 2.5 times. Again, you can see that AR coating with that purple background there. And it's nice, you know. I've literally just sized it, so I've only been wearing it for just a few minutes, but I wanted to do this review. There was also, again, some of those people that review these watches, you know, the guy in Australia, it's a shit, it's a piece of crap, you know. He didn't have anything other to, the only negative thing he said about it was it doesn't have resale value, and that's fine. For 550 bucks, you could probably maybe get 200, even 150 bucks, and you don't lose much money on the pre-owned market, even if you don't sell it. Because guess what? Tons of high-end luxury brands don't have resale value. You can lose thousands on watches, you know what I mean? So if you're only gonna lose a few $100 but still have the quality that's here, then by all means do it. It's worth it. It's just, you know what? It's not meant to be bought as a hand-me-down watch or resale. You know, it's 550 bucks. It looks really good. Apparently, this brand has made, back in the old days, made cases for Blancpain, other high-end luxury brands. So they've been around. They're not just a watch brand that copies other brands. They were making dive watches long before Rolex made the Submariner. So, you know, then there was this other guy. He was kind of a yuppie hipster kind of guy with a beard, and he had a little booklet. And he just seemed like he hung on everything that this other guy in Australia had to say. You know, I just don't like it, and it's not cool. It has this movement, and I don't know why, but it's not cool. And, you know, it had absolutely, to me, the guy just has no knowledge of watches, except he's just a huge fan of this Archie luxury guy in Australia. So it was like, dude, you're a fucking total tool. Even if someone writes a shit, you know, review, doesn't mean I would be steering away from it. I make my own opinion. So if I decide I want to buy a watch, I don't care really what anyone else thinks. I just buy it, and if I like it, I like it. It's cool. But this has the weight. It's durable. You can tell. I mean, again, I only just got it, so I haven't really spent time on it. But other than that, man, I like it. You know, and it's a nice dive watch. It's you know, for the price, you can't beat it. Again, buy watches because you like them, not because they're worth money or not worth money. And I've recently sold a bunch of my watches and took a huge hit on some of them. But either way, I mean, I sold the watches I just don't really wear anymore, you know. But I still have a ton of watches that aren't worth money that I can't really sell either. So on that note, we're gonna have a beer. Cheers. And TJ Hooker is coming on right now, so I'm gonna watch it. All right, have a good night.